What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Horror Movie Review with Daniel Richardson. As you can see, I'm dressed down completely. This is me and my jammies. But hey, when you're the CEO of TPS Productions and the head guy of the YouTube channel, you can do what you want, especially when you film in your living room. So, this guy's in his jammies. Tonight, we're going to be reviewing the movie from 3 years ago? Yeah, 3 years ago. It. Chapter 1. It was just called It. The movie's just called It, but then, you gotta specify Chapter 1 when you say it. To differentiate it from, Chapter 2. Or the miniseries. Enough about that. We'll get all that here in a second. So, before we get started, as you know, we like to go ahead and go through some news. So, let's see what we got in the news this week. Robert Eggers, the guy who did The Witch and The Lighthouse, said he's got his third film already thought of, as he's about ready to start production of it, called The Northman. The Northman, that's what it is. The Northman. Supposed to be a Viking revenge film, and a word we're going to be hearing a little bit later in this little segment here. But he says it's kind of a. He mentioned when he was talking about the Lighthouse, he was talking about how it was a spiritual companion piece, if you will, to The Witch. And this is going to be like the third part. I guess this is his trilogy. So you get The Witch, The Lighthouse, and The Northman. And even though they're not actually, as far as I know, they're not, in the same universe or anything like that, they're spiritually connected. It's just funny he said that, because we got another news piece later on that uses the same phrase. It's different. We'll get to that in a second. But Northman, I'm pumped to see it. Like I said, The Witch, right off the bat, I just remember when it came out and I saw the trailer, I was just instantly intrigued. And the whole time you watch it, you're like, oh, goddamn, this is great. You can just tell it's like a masterpiece unfolding. And The Lighthouse is no different. Like, it was just, I don't know. Anything this guy does, I'll check out. Like, there won't be anything I won't watch from Robert. So, I'm in. I can't wait to see, how it goes. A Viking revenge movie? Fuck yeah, I'm in. This week also they mentioned that they started production on Jurassic World Dominion. That's right, the third in the Jurassic World series, or part 6 in the entire franchise. Like, I know we like to pretend like 2 and 3 just didn't happen in the world, but like I still count it as canon. Like, I'm just like, fuck it. Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, Dominion. Hopefully we finally get dinosaurs running amok in town and shit. Like, that's one thing that Fallen Kingdom, I really like Fallen Kingdom. I know a lot of people give some crap. I like Fallen Kingdom. But that was not the movie we were promised. Remember the trailers leading up to Fallen Kingdom? You kept seeing, dinosaurs out in public, and, there was like a lion and a T-Rex facing off, and the giant fucking shark dinosaur and shit, out with people surfing. It's like, that's the movie we wanted. And we didn't get that until, the last 5 minutes of the movie. 5 minutes is like a 3-minute montage. It was short. We got the briefing pieces of that. But it's like, are you kidding me right there? I thought that's what it was going to be. But it wasn't to be. However, Dominion coming out soon. It's the same guy who did the second one. No, first one. Colin Trevorrow, is that his name? How do you pronounce his last name? I always want to say it's like Colin Tomorrow for some reason. But anyways, that guy, he's directing it. And anyways, he says it's going to be scarier. But that's kind of what you got to say. Like, whenever you're directing any movie, you always got to say, oh, this is going to be even scarier than the last one. But I guess he is going to try to go more. Dominion even sounds like a horror. That was the title of the Exorcist prequel, Dominion. So, it even kind of has a horror sound to it. I don't know. I'm hoping for something almost along the lines of, Planet of the Apes. The trilogy of 8 movies that just came out. War, Rise, and whatever the other one was. Literally, they just came out long ago, and I'm blanking them already. Anyways, but those movies, I liked how it's a slow type. I want to see society with dinosaurs running amok, and then I want to see the movie where dinosaurs are taking over a little bit more, and it's more dinosaurs than humans, and then I just want to see where it's like, fuck it, the dinosaurs have taken over, and now we have, that should be the next, progression here, but, it is what it is, I guess, but, yeah, I'm pumped. Anything Jurassic Park, I'll check out. It's one of those franchises that I always enjoyed, even at its lowest points. It's funny because forever I was always very anti-Lost World. I thought Part 2 is my least favorite. And I actually like 3. I was one of the few in the, that really kind of looked at 3. And I like 3. I did go back and revisit them. And it's like, nah, 2's definitely the better film. I mean, it just is. But 3 still isn't bad. I think 3 gets kind of a harsher rap than it deserves. But, it is what it is. But yeah, Jurassic World Dominion coming soon. So I mentioned last week that they were doing an interview with Robert Englund, and he was talking about how he just doesn't think he'll ever put the outfit on again, be Freddy Krueger again. And at this point, it's just almost like the franchise is kind of in the air because the rights have reverted back to the Craven estate. But in a separate interview, he was talking, and he kind of pitched an idea that I think would be brilliant, especially because I'm like, why don't they do this? Like, you got these movies that are never being filmed. Like, let's just go animated with it. That's right. He said he would be open to the idea of an animated Freddy Krueger movie or series. And I'm like, yes. Does anybody remember Spawn, the HBO series from the 90s? Like, it was dark and gritty, and it was clearly rated R. Or Heavy Metal from the 80s. Remember that movie? Just titties and heavy metal and goofy robots and shit. Something like that, rated R, a good hard R as well, and then yes, bring in the franchise players. I would love all of them. Literally, do a Freddy cartoon, do a Michael Myers one, do a Jason, Hellraiser. My God, it takes chance on you could do so much more, I think, with it, and you can push the boundaries even further. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like you could do so much more with that medium. I don't know. I'd be down for it. I know some people will be like, and don't get me wrong, I would prefer to have movies, but unfortunately we're not getting the movies, so this is the next best thing. And that's the thing, you look at the DC franchise, they have their own line of their own studio, Warner Brothers Animation, and they have an entire roster of DC animated films that people are oh, they're great. The people who watch them are they're great, the great stories and great, films, but no one's really watching these things because everybody's nah, I won't watch the live action. Those aren't real Batman movies. The real Batman movies are live action ones. And I feel like this will probably have the same kind of effect if they actually did move forward on something like this. But I don't care because I'll be in that minority of people who's watching it and buying it and being yes, please, more of this. But I have to wait and see, I guess. This past week, they finally released the Candyman trailer. That's right, Jordan. I thought he was directing it for some reason, but apparently he just produced it. Jordan Peele produced Candyman. And it's funny because when I watched the trailer, I didn't really, I didn't put anything together. I just thought maybe, I thought it was a remake. I thought it was a fucking remake. And, I guess it still is to a certain extent, but I'm going to get to that in a second. It looks good. I love the opening scene of just the schoolgirls are all saying Candyman in the bathroom, and then nothing happens, and they're fuck this. Let's go. And then they go to leave, and then the Candyman unleashes hell and just kills all these little fucking schoolgirls. It's great. It's fucking awesome. What I'm really digging about it is it looks almost like, they don't give away a lot in the trailer, but it's almost like this guy is becoming Candyman, or Candyman's using him as a conduit or something like that. There's a lot of scenes of him looking in the mirror, and it's you see Candyman, but he's standing there. I don't know. It seems like that may be the route they're going. I could be completely off. I'm just basing this on the one trailer that I watched. But it was interesting that when I was reading this little article that went with it, they were talking to the producers. And the producers said that this is not a reboot. It's more of a spiritual sequel to the trilogy. What the fuck does that mean? We've gotten to a point in Hollywood where it's first, remake was a dirty word. No one liked to use the word remake. So, when people be so we hear you're making a remake to this classic, they're oh, no, it's not a remake. It's a reboot. We're rebooting it. It's totally different. And they're all right, fine. But we got to the point where we got tired of reboots. So then they're we're not rebooting anything. It's, it's just it's a direct sequel. That's what we're doing. We're doing a reimagining. We're retooling it. It is kept doing these different things, and now they're it's a spiritual sequel. It's well, is it a sequel or not? Is it part 4 or is it not? Either way, I'm pumped for it. I think it looks pretty good. Just based on that one trailer, I think it looks great. Jordan Peele's a producer. I can't really think of anything he's produced that I didn't like. I'm definitely more on board with him as a director. But what did I watch? Oh, he did the Black Klansman. He produced that. And that turned out really good. I know he didn't really have what to do with that, but still, it's producing, nonetheless. So I don't know. Hopefully this actually turned out really good. I have high hopes. And finally, it was announced that the Sci-Fi Channel is going to be doing a TV series. They're using the name, so I don't know if it's actually going to be canon with the actual franchise or not. But they're doing a Day of the Dead TV series. Whether or not it's going to be about the military base, the people, the researchers in the military, like trying to figure out, a cure or whatever, no one knows. But it seems to be focusing on like the first days leading up to the outbreak. So, but it says it's using the Day of the Dead. Like once again, you can use any of the titles from the Dead series, and you can still relate that to the prior. So the fact that you're using the actual Day of the Dead tells me that they're probably gonna go military with it. But either way, we're getting a TV series out of it, so you ain't getting enough of your Walking Dead or Z Nation or the countless other fucking zombie TV shows out there. You got another one to add to the mix right here. I didn't realize this, and I always kind of forget, but I guess there was like 2 other Day of the Dead like remakes that they did. Like, I mean, I think they were like straight to video, but it's like I hear really shit things about that, so it's just like, do we really need this? But you know what? Stay open-minded, check it out. Maybe good. Maybe good. All right, guys, so that was it for the news. We're going to move on now to my favorite segment. It is the Horror Villain Showdown. That's right. We finally got to the end of the first round, and we're now moving on to the quarterfinals. But we're going to wrap up another match real quick. A couple weeks ago, we dropped the match of, so fucking ridiculous, Cujo versus Annabelle. And yeah, who won? Well, it was slim pickings, because I ain't gonna lie, only a couple people voted. So I had to throw in my vote for the tiebreaker, and I have chosen Annabelle. I know, I feel like people will probably want Cujo, because it's just, Annabelle's on top right now. She's got 3 films, 4 if you count her cameos, and 5 if you count the cameos in the other one. Either way, she's, in other films quite a bit. 6, she's actually in both Conjuring movies, because she's in the background in the thing. Yeah. She's tearing it up right now in the Conjuring verse. Either way, I think Cujo's probably got some popular vote, but once again, the votes came in, tiebreaker, and this guy broke the tie. Annabelle moves on. It's a fucking demon. Cujo dies. Cujo only has 1 movie to his franchise, and that's it. It's a fucking dog. It's a dog. It will ragdoll the shit out of the doll, but the actual demon that's possessing the doll will just crush that dog. That's all there is to it. So, Annabelle wins. So now we're going to bust out the first match. The first match in the quarterfinals. Here we go. We got in the first match, quarterfinals, Michael Myers versus Norman Bates. Holy shit, come on. Heavyweights going at it right here. Michael Myers. I'm about to actually cheat here. I got to cheat. I'm sorry. I didn't memorize all this. Michael Myers, he defeated Hannibal Lecter in the first round to advance. And Norman Bates, in my opinion, the upset win over Freddy Krueger in the first round. So here we are, Michael versus Norman. I guess we'll just do what we always do here. Of course, we know the people, so we're going to do the background on them or whatever. But Michael Myers' strengths, depending on which version you're using, if he's like the Tyler Mane Michael Myers, dude's like fucking hulking and has tons of unlimited power. Even if he's the old geezer Myers from the recent sequel that we got, still pretty strong. Rips that one dude's like fucking jaw right off. Or was it the girl? Oh, it was the guy. He drops the teeth in the stall and shit. So I mean, he's got crazy strength no matter what. Weapon of choice, butcher knife. I guess really his only flaw. He's old now. He's part of the. He has an AARP membership card. I don't know. He gets himself in traps pretty easily. Like, how did he not realize he's walking into the trap? He walks down that cellar. They're like, come on, get us, He lost the Busta Rhymes lunch. That's got to be a con no matter what villain you are. I mean, you got a loss of Busta Rhymes on your resume. That's it. You're done. Yeah. And in the producer's cut of Halloween, some rocks stopped him. Seriously, they threw some rocks down, yelled Yahtzee, and he's just like, freeze. So, there you go. There's many cons against him, I guess, depending on which route you take. Norman Bates, on the other hand, we got weapon of choice is, knife as well. He does the butcher knife as well. Or the kitchen knife, sorry. I recently just finished watching the original series, the 4 films. And, yeah, I mean, the con's always going to be that he is human. And I mean, the pro's going to be he's just psychotic. Like, literally, the dude's just psychotic. But I don't think he could outmaneuver Michael Myers. Like, I don't think he would have it in him. Like, he's essentially a good guy. And by the end of the series, you know, he kind of rids himself of Mother, for all intent and purposes. And, you know, moves on. So, I don't know. It does seem like after watching part 4, I'm just kind of like, okay, he's no longer that psychotic. He's got a kid coming, got a wife. He tries to kill his wife, and then she just forgives him instantly, which I thought was ridiculous, but whatever. So Michael Myers versus Norman Bates. You got, you know, it's up to you guys. Let's come down to a tie, and then it's up to this guy. Who do you think wins? Does Myers just easily slash his way through Norman Bates? Or does Bates pull up the upset? My God, he beat Freddy last time. Maybe he throws on the dress, and Michael thinks it's Laurie or something, and then, you know, he's like, oh, I want to be your brother. Like, you know, he'll do the arm out like, and then, you know, Norman will be like, nah, fuck you, knife in the neck or whatever. I don't know. It's up to you guys. You guys tell me who wins and how it goes down. All right, so next week we got an upcoming horror news movie coming out called The Hunt, where a bunch of people randomly wake up and realize that, holy shit, they're being hunted in what is known as The Hunt. This movie was supposed to come out last year, and it got pushed back, unfortunately, due to real-life public shootings, which, it always reminds me there's an episode, I mean, I'm not trying to make light of the situation. Get that right now. Like, you know, I completely understand, and it's horrible, the world we live in now. But you remember there was an episode of BoJack Horseman when they go to release this movie, and, like, every time they shoot a scene, there's like, it's, you know, it's an action film, it's like, oh, it's a shootout in the mall, and it's like, oh shit, there's a mall shooting, we gotta cut the scene. They're like, oh shit, okay, well, we'll cut the scene, no problem. As long as there's no, like, you know, shooting at a funeral, and it's like, oh my God, you just hear there's a shooting at a funeral. And so, like, the movie just keeps getting cut down to, you know, nothing. And it's just like, you know, you're never going to eliminate real-life violence. And I feel like whenever you try to censor movies because of that, it's like, come on. They're movies. No one's taking this shit that seriously. Remember the whole Joker debacle? Everybody thought, like, Joker's just going to make a bunch of frustrated, lonely white guys go crazy and just start shooting up theaters? Never happened. Not once, so... there you go. So the correlation between cinema violence and real life has always been ridiculous. However, they're definitely leaning into that. Like, they are kind of going like, the movie that was so controversial, we got, you know, kept getting pushed back. And I'm like, that's how you do it. Like, I would do that even if I wasn't canceled for that reason. Like, I don't know why most people don't do that. Like, Green Inferno was dealing with that at one point where, like, they kept getting pushed back. But it was due to, like, studio issues. Like, they were, you know, independent studio, like, ran out money and they kept getting pushed back. But I was like, I would just fucking say, like, oh no, we're so hardcore, it's so gory, so violent, so, you know, disturbing that they won't want you to see it, and that's why it keeps getting pushed back. And so I'm kudos to The Hunt for, you know, going forward on this. I think it looks decent. I mean, the fact that it keeps getting pushed back makes you want to see it now, because I want to see it before they pull it away or yank it from, you know, the theaters or whatever. You know, it's a satire. It's these, like, you know, uber liberals who are hunting, I guess, conservatives, which is kind of what you know, it's kind of the role reversal, because normally it's your conservatives that are the gun nuts that are, you know, taking out the pansy liberal tree huggers, and that's it. But here they've swapped the roles, and they're like, oh no, we're going to show you what it's like to, you know, be hunted this time. Good cast. It has Betty something, Gilpin. She's from Glow. I liked her in Glow. I haven't really seen it. I've seen her in like 2 or 3 other things, and I have not liked her in anything else. I liked her in Glow, so I'm hoping I like her in this movie. She was in The Grudge recently, and it didn't really impress me there. And then she was in that Batista movie with that Indian guy. I forget the dude's name. He has a weird name. I can never pronounce it. Stuber. That was it, Stuber. She was in that. Didn't really care for her in that either. So I'm really hoping she's good in this. Also has Hillary Swank. Sorry. Hillary Swank, which, you know, hit or miss. I'm okay with that. And Dennis Reynolds. Glenn Howerton. Hooverton. It don't matter. He's Dennis Reynolds from It's Always Sunny. And, yeah, it's got a couple other people you recognize in, you know, throughout. I'm like, I want to see this movie. This looks like a good movie. You know, Hunger Games, Surviving the Game. You just name hunting people. I guess that don't really count for Hunger Games. They weren't really hunted. They were just battle royal style and that thing. But either way, people were getting hunted, and they got five. It actually kind of reminds more of, like, Predators. Remember the kind of forgotten Predator movie that had Danny Trejo and Topher Grace in it? That's a real thing. Topher Grace was in a Predator movie, and no one remembers it. Anyway, that was kind of the whole thing. Like these random like killers and strangers wake up, and military wake up on a planet, and they're being hunted for sport. Well, it's the same thing, except it's conservatives being hunted by liberals. Only in Hollywood. So there you go, The Hunt coming out. So if you guys watch it, or if you what do you guys think about it, let me know in the comment section down below. Put it right there next to your who wins between Myers and Bates. It's like, so-and-so wins, and here's what I think about The Hunt. So there it is. So we're going to move on now to what, the reason we're here, the main event. I'm talking about It. 2017. A story about a bunch of young kids who, of course, they're all part of the Losers Club. And, this outcast, misfits, bullied kids who kind of band together to take on this crazy demonic clown that's feeding on, the children of, Derry, Maine. So yeah, that's basically, in a nutshell what it is. When this movie was announced, because at this point, at this stage, I'm 34 years old, we're in an era of just rampant remakes. Like, nothing's safe. It don't matter anymore. Everything's going to be remade. And, when I was younger, I'd be like, oh my God, they're ruining the legacy of this. And now it's just like, no, they're not. You just ignore the remake. Ghostbusters, next example. They're just like, we're going to remake Ghostbusters, do a gender swap and everything. And we're just like, yeah, we're not watching it. That's it. And we killed it. We literally ended Ghostbusters. Good for you guys. And that's what you can do now. You don't have to watch anything. So, I don't know, anymore if I do a remake that comes out that looks like shit, I was like, well, I ain't going to watch it. That's how you take away the power. You just don't watch it. It's like it. It's literally like, it's like the Pennywise. You just, you turn your back on it, you belittle it, and it just goes away. So, anyways, when they announced they're doing It, though, I was actually kind of intrigued because, don't get me wrong, I love the original miniseries. It's incredible. It's fucking iconic. Tim Curry is awesome as Pennywise. The story itself is just so great. The way it's structured. I mean, once again, it's basically like 2 TV movies put together. They say it's a miniseries, but it's 2 films put together. And of course, the common complaint was always that, the first half of the kids was the best half, and then the second half of the adults, with the finale, was the worst. And so, when they said they was going to remake it, I think we all thought, like, well, how are they going to do this? And then it was announced that it's going to do 2 movies. And that the first movie would be the kids. And I was like, oh, smart thinking. So we knew the first one would be pretty good, probably. Like, at least you have that one taken care of. The second one you may struggle with, but, we knew at least the first one would be good. And then I remember hearing about all the changes behind the scenes. I can't remember the guy's last name, Cary something Japanese. He was the guy who did True Detective, I think, on HBO. And initially he was going to do it. And I guess his script was fucked up. Like, literally really fucking dark and disturbing. Like, really messed up. I don't know. I would love to have seen his version, because I think that would have been really cool. And he had Will Poulter penciled in as Pennywise, which is very interesting, because Will Poulter, he always has these creepy fucking eyebrows. Like, whenever I see this kid, I'm just like, eyebrows. He's got these, like, naturally pointy, like, he looks like a natural villain. And it just seems like, yeah, I would like to see what he would have been like as Pennywise. But as we get it, we get the guy, Andrew Muschietti? He's the guy who did Mama. That guy. He directed it, and then we get Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise, which honestly, now that he stepped into that role, it's like, fuck. Like, there is no one else now. The movie itself, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I know people are always going to be, split, and that's fine. You don't have to, you're not throwing away your memories of the original if you embrace this one. It's okay to like both. But I know a lot of people, especially the older generation, just like, yeah, this ain't as good as the first one. Like, oh, fuck you. I think it's way better than the first one. I think it's better written. It's darker. It's rated R. I mean, the first one was, restrained by the fact that it was made for TV, so it couldn't get too brutal. And don't get me wrong, I mean, the first one definitely had a lot of atmosphere and a lot of creepiness, but it also had Tim Curry, and so that helped out. That took a lot further. That elevated it, And this one definitely wasn't restrained by that. So it just, I mean, like I said, the first scene, and I guess I'll just tell you right now, spoilers alert. Georgie. We get Georgie's death in the first one compared to this one. It's like, fuck you. This one's way better. He gets his arm just ripped. Right off, and you see it, and it's just like, oh my god, the kid gets dragged away with one arm, bloody, screaming, crying in the rain. It's like, yeah, you know what kind of movie we're making now. they had to change some things up. They had to bring it to bump it up a few years. So instead of the first one was set 50s, 60s. This one's set in the 80s, late 80s, heading into 90s. And so you had to bump it up to kind of make it fit today's narrative, and that's fine. I was okay with that. I liked the change thing. I thought it was good. All the kid actors did really well. Unfortunately, some of them are a little underdeveloped. Now, you get the sense, there's like 11 deleted scenes on this thing. We all hear about the infamous deleted scene, too. That's the one that we haven't seen yet, where Pennywise eats a baby or some shit. Like, I want to see that deleted scene. Where the fuck's that one at? We keep getting promises we're going to get it, and they haven't dropped it yet. But I do feel like Mike doesn't get a whole lot to do in this one. And that's funny, because in the original, and I've read the book, too. I want to say, in the book, he was also like the historian as well. So it's like in the original and then the book, Mike's the one that has all the background about Derry's history, his dark past. And here they give that to Ben for some reason. So Mike kind of gets left out of that. And don't get me wrong, Mike has a couple of moments here and there. He's the one that tackles Henry Bowers into the well, which somehow didn't kill him, but whatever. But no, it's almost just kind of like, I don't know, they kind of shafted him. Now, it gets made up for in Chapter 2, which is in a review for Chapter 2, but, he does get more in that one. I kind of feel like Ben got a little less, because it seems like everybody was so... Maybe it's just the actors. Like, the actors definitely elevated the performances and the parts in the sequel, except for the guy that played Ben. I don't know who the fuck that guy was, but he just kind of... He wasn't doing it for me. But anyway, Ben does great in this one. Really, all the kids do great. And it's cool to see a lot of these kids actually go on and do other stuff. Like, it's not like, I guess like the original. Like Seth Green, really the only one that blew up. Well, the girl that played Bev, she would go on to do, the fuck she do? Ginger Snaps, that's what it was. And that was it. I'm sure she done other stuff. I'm sorry, Emily Perkins, is that her name? I know you've done more stuff, but come on. You know Seth Green. And that's about it. And Seth Green's not even Seth Green anymore, really. Well, Family Guy and Robot Chicken, what does he really do? Do he still do Robot Chicken? I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm getting off on random rants here. Anyways, back to what I'm saying. No, these kids all did a solid job. I thought they all did good. Really, I guess, for me, the pros were just, I thought this was a really creepy, interesting take on the material. I thought Pennywise nailed it. Like, Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. I love how iconic this Pennywise has become, too. Like, he has instantly threw himself into the iconic pantheon of horror characters. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, even the original Pennywise, don't get me wrong, you'd always see him on stuff, but he's not one of the main dogs. Like, Freddy, Michael, Jason, Pinhead, Leatherface, like, these are your five, and Chucky, that you see on every t-shirt. Like, any kind of horror Mount Rushmore, these are the ones you see. Any kind of, like, guys playing poker on shit, those are the characters you get. And instantly, bam, there he is. Pennywise. I don't know if you guys can even see it on the camera or not, but there he is. He's already threw himself into the stratosphere. Like, automatically. 3 years. This movie's only been out for 3 years. And that first year, 2017, he was already on everything. He has become... And, once again, a lot of that has to do with Bill Skarsgård's performance. I thought it was great. It was different than Tim Curry's. And that's fine. You're not betraying the love of Tim Curry by saying that Bill Skarsgård did good. And in my opinion, I think he just does better. I really do. I just loved his take on it. That's just all there is to it. Like I said, this got dark. I wish it would have got a little darker, but I guess I'm not gonna whine and complain too much. Once again, just the fact that you hear about how dark it was going to be initially, I guess it's just like shit. But no, it's still good. I will say one thing that was really odd. How Henry Bowers, like in the first one, I'm not advocating this. I don't want this to get taken out of context, but it took me out for a second since you're watching it. In the original TV miniseries, for Christ's sake, Henry Bowers, he drops quite a few N-bombs towards Mike. Really hard to watch. It's hard to take. It's tough, but it's real. And here we are, these kids, and this dude's a bully, and nothing's off limits. He says everything. And he doesn't drop one N-bomb the whole time. Now, I'm not saying like I had to have it in there. And I guess I'm glad we live in a world where this kid's a psychopath, he's a serial killer, but he's not a racist. The closest he gets is get out of my town, and it's just kind of like, really? I just don't buy that this greasy-looking fucking mullet head scumbag isn't dropping the N-bomb at least once. For whatever reason. Now I get it, like today, 2017 then, 2020 now, I get it. That's you can't say that. But it's like, he's a villain. And would he not say that? Like, I don't know, I just felt kind of weird, like, I kept waiting for it. And that seems weird, like, why am I waiting for that? But I was just like, wow, he didn't say the N-word at all. Odd. Just didn't drop it once? No, guess not. And it's like, they're kids. Kids don't care what they say. They're the worst, so, I don't know. That is kind of weird, but that's just me. That's just me. So, no, this movie, is good. I think there's certain beats in the original miniseries that I kind of liked that seem like they kind of gloss over here. Like, I mean, I feel like the kids bonded more. We see the kids bonding more. And here it just seems like it's kind of sped up, which is weird because they're about the same in length. I think actually this is longer than the other one. But it brings the chills and the thrills. Like I said, a couple good jump scares. I love one of my favorite scenes is when they're watching the projector, and of course you see Pennywise inside the thing, and then boom, he disappears, and then bam, it's like giant Pennywise pops out of the screen, and to me that was just like, holy shit, was not expecting that. It's got a lot of good stuff in this one, and yeah, I don't know, I liked it. It would spawn its sequel later on down the road, It Chapter 2, which was very, like, this one kind of split audiences, but I think more people was definitely into it than it was against it, whereas 2 divided them even more. I, for one, really liked it. It does have its flaws, but for the most part, you can overlook it. I don't know what people was wanting in the second one, who knows. I think the only thing the second one kind of lacks really is horror. I think there's a nice good handful of creepy scenes, but for the most part, it's just not a lot of tension, not a lot of scariness. It's more action at the end. But I mean, they did the ending better than the first one, or the original miniseries. So, but anyways, yeah, that was it. I enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys thought about it in the comment section down below, guys. That's all I got. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
Oh shit! Didn't always run. Sorry. Hi. Thank you for watching that video. Be sure to give us a thumbs up, share it, subscribe to our channel. All that good stuff you do right here on YouTube, go ahead and do it. Check out our other videos. Go to our playlist. We got episodes of TPS TV, Journey Through the Dark Side. We got a new show coming out, the horror movie review with Daniel Richardson. This guy. And of course, our short film, Entropy. You can find all that and more right here on YouTube. And then check out, yeah, look at that. All of our social media right there. And we don't just, copy and paste like the same post and put it on all. No, that's ridiculous. 3 different platforms, 3 different posts. I mean, the behind the scenes stuff you see on Twitter will not be the same stuff you see on Instagram. So there you go, right there. So be sure to give us a follow and a like on all that right there. Keep up to date. Have you seen Unspeakable Acts yet? No? Come on. Pick you up the DVD right now. Links over there. Oh yeah. It's only $7. $3 shipping and handling. And of course, if you've already seen it and you haven't seen the Public Domain Dungeon yet, boom, $5 DVD right there. So 5 S&P as well. Or sorry, 3 S&P as well. So there you go. Do that. And if you got the spare change, you want to hit us up, donate a little bit over here to TPS Productions. Our Patreon is right there. Oh yeah. So that's all we. Oh my God, sorry. I'm getting fired, ain't I? Guys, that's all we got. Thank you for watching.